Welcome to Surprise in Europe, the only television series that shows you the true life of African migrants in Europe. Hi, my name is Kaynel. We're right here in Brussels, the heart of the European community. How do we Africans who live in Europe deal with local traditions and customs? What is it like to be here with our own African identity? To what extent do we adapt to the Europeans?
Guess who's back?
In this episode, you'll meet artist Wonder Wendy, who tells us how she feels standing with one foot in Paris and the other foot in Africa.
My culture is totally African, but I got another part of me which is French, and so I'm Afro-European.
We'll reveal the secrets to making black and white relationships work.
Als je echt van iemand houdt, dan je deelt alles.
And our special reporter Suna uncovers some more strange European customs.
The water temperature is 3 degrees, but these people, they are determined to go in the water.
But first, to our guest reporter Ade Bantu, a fellow hip-hop artist from Cologne in Germany. He shows us a darker side of Europe.
Welcome to Surprise in Europe. My name is Ade Bantu. I'm a musician of Nigerian-German descent, and I'm going to be your host, taking you on a journey through Germany, giving you a feel of what it feels like to be black or African in this environment. Since 1989, we've had over 140 racist-motivated murders. Amongst these murders, a Mozambican father of 3, Alberto Adriano, was brutally murdered by skinheads in Dessau. Not only was I shocked, it motivated me to do something. I rallied all the black German musicians that I knew, and we set up the collective Brothers Keepers. We recorded the song Adriano, the final warning.
7 Sunday after restart, our fellow brothers executed in his prime. Adriano's crime, wrong place, wrong time. I can still hear the voice of anguish fading through the night. It was an unfair fight.
There was a job being advertised in the newspaper, and I called and they told me that I should go the next day. Then when I went there, they saw me because I'm an African. They told me there's no job for you.
I was driving in a tram, and suddenly came a bang on the window, and I looked out and I saw somebody standing and showing me finger and telling me to go home.
I'm looking for accommodation, but if you appear in person as an African, then the accommodation is, automatically gone.
Racism and discrimination, unfortunately, is a timeless phenomenon. Where I stand here in Düsseldorf, Germany, is where Hilarius Gilges, a black German, was murdered by Hitler's henchmen some 75 years ago. According to my knowledge, he was the first black victim of the Nazis. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take you to go meet Angela Camara. She works for Brothers Keepers, and we want to see what young Germans are doing against racism in this time and this age.
Jeder Schwarze hat Rassismus erlebt, jeder. Bevor Menschen sich beraten lassen, schlucken sie und schlucken sie und schlucken sie. Und dadurch irgendwann kommt man mit sich selber nicht klar, weil man nicht drüber spricht, weil man halt Ängste hat, weil man sich vielleicht nicht mehr raustraut, weil man Angst hat vor seinen Nachbarn also es kann zu wirklichen Ängsten werden. Deswegen ist es uns wichtig, dass wir auch Schwarze dazu ermutigen, darüber zu sprechen, dass sie nicht die Einzigen sind, die diese Erfahrungen machen.
Here's a story I would like to share with you. It's about John Nkibi, a young man from Uganda. He was telling me about an incident that occurred to him about 3 weeks ago. One late afternoon, he had just bought dinner when his dog got into a fight with the dog of a neighbor.
The dogs started biting to each other, So the 2 persons came down, It was a man and another person, and just came to me and they just tried to hit me, They just tried to hit me, and I stepped back, and the other guy, he had a baseball bat with him, It was clear. He looked through the window and he saw me there, and I was alone. That's the problem. I was alone. it makes me sad, you know, that there are people who are just waiting that the black guy do something where he can act and hit him.
Es gibt viele verschiedene Vorurteile. Das größte und stärkste, was Afrikaner betrifft, ist, dass sie mit Drogen handeln, dass sie gewalttätig auch sind, dass sie gerne Frauen anmachen, weiße Frau, damit sie hier bleiben können. Und je nachdem, wo man hinkommt, trifft man auch auf gewaltbereite Menschen, die einen dann anfeinden, die einen beschimpfen, die einen anspucken, die einen schlagen bis zum Tod, wie Alberto Adriano zum Beispiel. War ich mit einer Freundin unterwegs und als wir im Bus saßen, sah ich auf dem Platz 2 Rechte stehen, ganz klassisch mit Bomberjacke, Springerstiefeln und kommen direkt auf mich zu, schreien, hauen gegen die Scheibe, spucken und schrien, "You're sitting on a white seat." Wir hatten Angst, wir waren aber in dem Moment geschockt. Aber die Leute im Bus, die haben sich weggesetzt, auf die andere Seite, haben aus dem Fenster geguckt. Es war mucksmäuschenstill, keiner hat was gesagt, keiner hat reagiert, keiner hat uns unterstützt.
So I think it's always, we have to look at each other, you know, we have to protect each other. So we have to be careful. I think that's very important.
It's obvious we can't deny the fact that racism and discrimination exist. But I'm glad that Germans are willing to address it, and I hope the rest of Europe will join in. In the meantime, we Africans will continue to sleep with one eye open. I am Ade Bantu for Surprise in Europe in German.
Have you experienced racism in Europe? How do you feel as a black African in an entirely white world? Give us your tips, your stories, your anecdotes. Share them on the website or drop a note on Facebook. Europeans are very proud of their culture. With the arrival of so many migrants, they can also feel threatened that they will lose their identity. But migrants have been coming here for centuries, so multiculturalism is a fact of life. Right now, we have more about black and white relations in Europe, but this time through the eyes of love.
What's the nicest thing about an African man?
Well, he's good looking.
Black dude.
Well, he's looking fine.
He's looking good, right?
Dutch guys, they're very feminine, and I'm not so fond of that.
What is the good thing about being with an African man?
Never a dull moment. I'm not seeing us as a black man at all, actually.
Mose is a percussionist from Senegal. In his hometown, he met a Dutch woman who was there for business. It changed his life completely. They fell in love, and now he has a family with her in Amsterdam.
Dus ik was niet iemand die, ik wil echt naar Europa toe gaan. Ja, en toen zie ik mijn grote liefde. Dan moet ik kiezen. Liefde is ook heel belangrijk. Dus kies ik voor liefde. Daarom ben ik hier. Zwaaien! Ik ken Turit via mijn broer. 2, 3, 4, 1. Wij hebben elkaar contact, we praten met elkaar. Gewoon praten, tot diep in de nacht. Wow. De laatste dag, toen zei hij moet volgende dag naar Nederland komen. En breng ik naar haar huis. En dat was 's avonds, 1 uur of zo, 12:30. Het was volle maand. Daar is echt heel mooi, dat hebben we elkaar zo gegeven. Echt heel mooi, daar voel ik echt de liefde.
Ik dacht, het is hem gewoon. Dus ik belde hem van, ik kom volgende maand naar Senegal en ik wil graag met je trouwen. En dat moment dat hij zegt, kan je me morgen even terugbellen? Ja. Maar ik wist helemaal niet eens waarom. Dus ik dacht, oké.
Ik vraag met mijn ouders, dat zijn de regels in Afrika. Mijn ouders die vinden het geweldig, die zeggen prima. Die zeggen, ben je echt verliefd? Ik zeg ja. Nou, trouwen. Weya boy. Weya boy.
We hebben zoveel minder discussies. Vroeger was het echt wel veel hoor, over geld, over dat veel meer. Je komt echt uit 2 verschillende werelddelen zelfs. Dat moet je begrijpen, mekaars achtergrond. In de westerse wereld is een man en een vrouw is de basis.
Die staan aan de basis.
Dus je bent mekaars vriend, je bent vrienden, je bent mekaars partner, lover. Ja. Eigenlijk vragen wij heel veel binnen één relatie. Ja.
Who's the boss in the house?
Oh, she's the boss. Yeah. In Africa, the woman do everything. You know, here, it's 50-50. Maybe you say, oh, why? I want to clean. I don't want to clean.
Yeah. Men have to take care of the children. And I was not used to it.
Alles is heel snel. Alles op agenda. Alles tik. Je ziet het, wij hebben volle agenda. Ik moet aanpassen, hè. Dat zijn de dingen wat ik moet echt aan wennen. Omdat als je zegt, morgen, wat doe je? Ik zeg, nou, ik weet het niet. Of zeg ik wil niet weten wat ik morgen ga doen. Nou, dat is dan een beetje moeilijk. Of snelheid. Je moet sneller, ga daar, sneller daar, alles achter elkaar. Je kan er niet laatste minuut zeggen, oh schatje, vandaag gaan wij naar de bioscoop. Oh schatje, vandaag gaan wij uit eten. Je moet alles plannen, omdat ze hebben haar eigen leven. En dat is ook weer goed. Dus als ze plannen maken, dan is het weer goed.
Wat je moet doen, mijn naam is Hussein. Ik doe op de rand Hussein. Allemaal dat, klaar. Ik ben papier op de rand Hussein. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hussein is natuurlijk het geluk dat hij gewoon een hele goede docent is. En gewoon een hele goede muzikant. Dus hij kon gewoon zichzelf blijven. Ik denk dat dat ook heel belangrijk is. Dat je je werk kan doen en daar je plezier in uit kan halen. En gewoon je inkomen ook.
Hussein, kom. 20, kijk eens hier eens. Alleen maar dat. En we stoppen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even applaus. Mooi, hè? Dat is 1, 2, 3. Goed, hè?
Wat Moussé heel goed doet is, als hij om 2 uur ergens moet zijn en het duurt een half uur, dan gaat hij om 1 uur weg. Want in dat extra half uur kan hij iemand tegenkomen. En dan wil hij wel de tijd nemen om iemand dag te zeggen en tijd te nemen voor die persoon, zoals ze in Afrika doen. Wat heel mooi is, dat je tijd voor elkaar hebt. En dat vind ik iets heel moois, dat je toch je Afrikaanse tempo behoudt, je sociale tempo, binnen een snelle setting, een snel leven.
Geef applaus.
Oh, kijk. Kijk, papa. Papa klaar. Als je echt van iemand houdt, dan je deelt alles. Als ik kook, zij doet de was. En ik schoonmaak, zij doet de kinderen. En dat is de truc. Er zijn heel veel mensen die wil dat niet doen. Die denken, oh, ik ben man, ik ben de man, ik doe niks, ik ga zitten.
Yeah, you have also to talk to each other.
Yeah, and you
yeah,
have to
talk
trust
about
each other.
everything. That make it easy.
And keep your faith that everything will be all right.
Try not to see the color. Try to see try to see the heart, the person, the love.
How multicultural is your love life? Was your heart ever broken by a European girl or guy? What are your secret dreams? Share your stories on the website. We invited several artists to write a music track for our series. Wonder Wendy is our next musical star. She has a voice that captured my attention right away.
I feel African because I was raised by African. I mean, my culture is totally African. But I think that I was born in France, and so I got the other side, I got another part of me, which is totally French. I'm happy to wake up in the morning and say, you know, I'm making what I like the most. I mean, singing.
Le premier la laisse, que l'argent, l'argent. Lui, son travail, c'est se produire devant les gens.
My father is a musician, so I heard about Gabonese music from the day I was born, I think. From the beginning of my life, I think it was like that. My father used to bring me in rehearsals. I was 2 months, you know? So I always would live with music, and that's something very present in my life.
Here we're in the studio of our producer Guyver in Paris. Wonder Wendy is writing a track for us called Best of Both Sides.
My music is a kind of mix between hip-hop, soul, sometimes reggae. You get different flavors.
I'm a part of this surprising Europe, an African soul in Europe.
Yeah. My first time in Africa was to live there, so that was the biggest changes of my life because I didn't know that country except by the speeches and of my father and mother. It's the part of my life where I learned the most about myself, my own self, you know. And I realized that there was a part of me missing. Because I don't live with my own music. I had to find gigs and to make background vocals and to pay bills. Now I'm a mother, so I just realized how expensive it is to find somebody to keep your child while you're working. In Europe, you have to pay for everything. You're so alone that you have to pay somebody to keep your baby, you know, while you were working and everything, and that's very expensive, you know. In Africa, you didn't even think about money, you know. It was just like there's always somebody to keep the baby, not only the mother, you know. The relationships are totally different. European got to learn that from African. I think they need to learn that.
Yeah, guess who's back? Wonder Wendy sur un nouveau push-up track. Il est temps d'exprimer le meilleur de moi, mes racines africaines et ma banlieue parisienne. J'incarne le mélange, l'échange et des mots, les anges du passé qui ont sali ma terre et qui l'ont honoré. L'Europe, le progrès, l'individualisme, l'Afrique, le respect et son réalisme. Let me take the best of both sides, best of both sides, best of both sides. I know where I come from today, I know just who to be. I'm a part of the surprising Europe, an African soul in you.
You can find the complete track Best of Both Sides by Wonder Wendy on the website. Let's see how our special reporter Suna from Uganda is doing. It's midwinter in Amsterdam, and Suna is going to brave the cold weather to uncover an unusual European custom.
It's winter in Europe, and that is something completely different from winter in Africa.
You must have heard it that it's cold here in Europe. Every winter I am freezing here in my room. But for the Dutch people, it's something which is normal.
They even like the cold, special New Year's Day. thousands of people gather at the ice-cold beach.
To do what? Let's find out.
All these people seem to prepare for a dive into the freezing cold water. How cold is the water?
It's 4 degrees. 4 degrees. 4 degrees centigrade.
The water temperature is 3 degrees, but these people, they are determined to go in the water. I don't understand this. They must have problems. But let's see. Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, hey, mate.
I want to ask you,
Oh,
why are you doing this?
Because life is very easy. You have to make it a little hard for yourself.
I just want to ask you one question. Why you are doing it?
Okay, nobody knows why. We just do it.
You just do it.
Are you going to swim?
I will try, but for me it's really very cold.
Yeah, you can use my bow. You can go there, man. Yeah, you come there.
Not now.
Why?
Yeah.
Just because it's New Year's Day. So it's fun.
But it's
cold.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
You should take off his clothes and come with us.
But it's very cold.
If we think it's only the white people who are crazy enough to go in, even the black people in the Netherlands join in. They must have been living too long in Europe already.
Experience. But it's really cold.
It's very cold. But you have to do it one time.
Try.
Yeah, I'm going to try, but I want to get a clear reason why I have to do it.
Adrenaline.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Not now. Not now. Not now.
Next year.
Hey man, you went there also?
Yeah, man, 3 times.
How was it?
Very cold, man. Too cold.
But why you did it now?
I'm crazy. With Dutch people. Dutch people are crazy. My feet, they were very cold. I can't feel them anymore. But I went on, and, took a swim, and went straight back, and I went back the second time.
Today I discovered I'm not really a European yet. I still think that diving into the ice-cold water is crazy. But then again,
Standing there, I was nearly going to do it, just for fun. Maybe next year, I'll do it.
No, I won't. I mean, integration is a good thing, but there are limits, you know? Anyway, let me warm you up for next week when you'll meet another fine artist, Sister Fa. She will be our guide to the life of a Senegalese community in Berlin, Germany.
I was lucky that my husband put me in comfortable situation, but I have many friends who are really suffering.
We will also show you the one place in Europe where you don't want to end up, a detention center for undocumented migrants.
Si ça ne marche pas chez moi, je dois chercher ailleurs. J'ai le droit de vivre partout où je vais. Je suis créé comme ça.
And what can you do when you need healthcare but you can't afford it?
I know what to do. When I deliver this, they will believe me. This will believe me. This will believe me.
I hope to see you again in the next episode. In the meantime, check out our website. Leave a message with your webcam, and we may feature you in the next episodes. For now, bye-bye.
When you are not a structured person, it makes you very miserable.
The problem here is everybody's running his own way. You can fall down even here and somebody will just pass you.
I'm just walking in the street up and down, looking for paper for somebody else can lend me his paper.